Toy Story is one of those movies that I always think about from time to time. Its characters and storylines have lingered in the unconscious part of my mind for longer than I would like to admit to myself. As a child, I mostly enjoyed the colorful world of toys coming to life. But it wasn't until I looked at the movie through a philosophical lens that I realized the profound impact it had on me growing up. You see, Toy Story wasn't just another animated film to me. It was a companion through the ups and downs of my own childhood. Yet, it wasn't until I delved deeper into its essence and meaning that I truly grasped why it had such a profound impact on my childhood. The themes that appear in the series shaped my understanding of the world in ways I couldn't articulate at the time. Reflecting on Toy Story has become more than just nostalgia, and in this video, I want to share some of my reflections with you. And perhaps, like me, you'll uncover new insights that enrich your appreciation of this timeless Pixar classic. So without further ado, let's get straight into it and discover the philosophy behind Toy Story.
You're my favorite deputy.
You got a friend in me. You got a...
In the first Toy Story, we are introduced to Andy's toys in his room. The emphasis lies on Sheriff Woody, the main protagonist and character in all of the Toy Story movies. We meet him as the head of the table, a sort of community leader and guide to the other toys in Andy's room. Woody is also Andy's favorite toy, and he defines his purpose mostly in relation to Andy, as do all the toys in the Toy Story universe to their respective owners. Woody's identity and sense of self are shaped by his role as Andy's favorite toy and his participation in Andy's life. He finds meaning and fulfillment in serving Andy, which gives him a sense of purpose. And everything goes pretty well for Woody, until one fateful day on Andy's birthday when Andy receives a Buzz Lightyear action figure, the newest action figure in a line of popular space toys. Suddenly, Woody is seemingly replaced as Andy's favorite toy. Even the other toys suddenly seem to appreciate Buzz more than they do Woody. As may seem obvious to the viewer, this infuriates Woody, to the point that he actively tries to get rid of Buzz. But what's really at play here is that Woody has lost his one defining purpose and meaning. No longer Andy's favorite toy, Woody's entire existence is suddenly devoid of any meaning. Once cherished, Woody now finds himself cast aside, his existence stripped of all significance, rendering his life all the more bleakly nihilistic. And it is this theme that is present in the entire Toy Story series that I want to emphasize and explore in this video. What if the thing, the person or the role that we have given ourselves in life and that gives our life meaning and purpose suddenly disappears, or is no longer able to give us the purpose we seek? The Russian author Ivan Turgenev, known for his writings around nihilism, states that without a firm belief in something, life becomes meaningless, akin to a shadow without substance. And this is what we see happen in Toy Story the entire time. This sense of purposelessness is something every toy in Toy Story must inevitably face, as every child will once outgrow them, if they are lucky enough not to be replaced by another toy before that. Eventually, they will always end up being abandoned. And it's exactly in this metaphor for life that the genius of Toy Story's narrative shines through. This loss of meaning can be understood and analyzed through the philosophy of Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche, in his book Thus Spoke Zarathustra, famously proclaimed the death of God, suggesting that the old traditional system of belief, specifically in the form of religion, no longer holds the same authority and meaning that it once did. For thousands of years, God or gods provided us humans a form of psychological protection, spiritual and emotional comfort, and most of all, a clear path for our lives. When there was a divine power above, humans didn't have to worry about meaning or purpose. Everything was set, and all we had to do was follow God's instructions, as dictated by religion, and everything would be fine. In the 15th century, as science and technology advanced, people began to question age-old beliefs about Earth's position in the cosmos. The Enlightenment of the 18th century took that a step further and brought serious doubts about the existence of a higher power. suggesting that human reason could replace divine authority. Nietzsche's bold proclamation of the death of God encapsulated this shifting paradigm, suggesting that humanity's intellectual progress had rendered the concept of belief in the divine obsolete. In Toy Story, we see a reflection of this societal and cultural crisis played out through the experiences of the toys, as Woody grapples with no longer being the favorite toy, but also Buzz when he faces the revelation that he is not a real space ranger, and Jessie when she is confronted with the abandonment by her previous owner, Emily. Each of them must come to terms with the loss of the roles and identities they once saw as their guiding light and purpose, mirroring Nietzsche's idea of the death of God, as the collapse of traditional sources of meaning and value. To frame it differently, when our metaphorical gods die, how are we as an individual able to cope with this? And how can we find meaning in life again without falling into despair? This is the fundamental question that Toy Story asks us as a viewer. Yet, just as Nietzsche believed that the death of God opened up the possibility for individuals to embrace their own agency, the toys in Toy Story also find ways to navigate their predicament. For example, Woody in Toy Story 4 discovers that his worth and purpose do not only come from a child, aka God, in a Nietzschean sense, but from the connections and relations he has with others, such as Bo Peep, for example. And besides my comparison to the philosophy of Nietzsche, in this sense, Toy Story learns us how to cope with the inevitable part of our human condition, because it shows us the challenges we may all have to confront in our lives one day. Loss, leaving the past behind, and growing old being just a few examples of what those challenges can be. Toy Story teaches us that while we may outgrow the past, we never outgrow the capacity for love, connection, and the pursuit of meaning. Through the trials and tribulations of Woody and the rest of the toys, we are invited to contemplate our own search for meaning and purpose in a world where finding meaning is always a difficult task. So the next time you watch Toy Story, remember to cherish the present moment, as life is short and we never know what tomorrow brings. And most importantly, cherish the people in your life that truly matter. Hey there, thank you for joining us and watching this video on our YouTube channel. Lately, I have been making it a habit to make philosophical reflections on some of my all-time favorite movies from my childhood, because I truly believe that some of these movies can be great avenues to explore the world of philosophy, but also because I find a creative outlet in analyzing pop culture. So be sure to check out the other videos on this channel if you haven't yet already, and let us know what you would like to see in future videos.
And if you enjoyed the part about Nietzsche and want to learn more about his philosophy, more specifically in his seminal work Thus Spoke Zarathustra, be sure to check out this video right here.
Not to brag about my fellow dude, but that is indeed a great video. Thank you for watching, partners, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.